What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another boxinacorner.net video, and in today's video we are going to be looking at a hidden gem of a game called Last Origin. Currently only available in Korea in two versions, censored and uncensored. If I've already piqued your interest, stay tuned. There is a lot to go over in this little quick start guide. That being said, if you are new to my channel and you stumbled upon this video out of the woodwork, let me go and introduce myself. I am Tree from boxinacorner.net. That is the website. You're free to check that out after the video is over. And I want to let you know that in all of my videos that I upload to YouTube, I always put timestamps in the YouTube video description. So if you're on PC, go ahead and scroll down a bit. You'll see timestamps. You can go and click on a timestamp that relates to a subject that interests you. If you are on mobile or any other device that is not easily show the YouTube video description, just go ahead and scroll on down, expand it, and then timestamps will be there, okay? In either way, shape, or form, hopefully you find those useful. I always do it as a service for people who don't have time to sit and watch an entire video, but I do hope you do so eventually, because that's how I do things. I like rambling on about stuff that I like. And Last Origin is a game that I like. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of this video, this mini quick start guide that I'm going to create for people who are interested in playing this game but they don't know how to read Korean and all that stuff, let's go ahead and get all of the business stuff out of the way first with an introduction. So let me go ahead and open up the web browser here and talk about Last Origin. Alright, so what exactly is Last Origin? So Last Origin is a game released only in Korea. I believe it's less than a year old, and it hasn't really had much coverage outside of the country. So if you obviously reside in Korea, you know what this game is about, or at least you've heard of it. But outside of it, it's gotten very, very little attention. Only a friend of a friend probably heard about it, and here we are talking about it. At least I am. Now, as of June 14th, 2019, a writer, Yusha Ekza, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, of MMORPG News did give it a little bit of a limelight for a day at least, talking about how the game was released in Korea and that the developers and the producers of the game are thinking about bringing it to the global market in the form of Japan servers as well as global servers. Now, at the beginning of this game, I mentioned that it is available in two versions, censored and uncensored in Korea. The Japan version is going to follow the same formula, and fortunately, the global version may only have the censored version, but it's not 100% set in stone as of right now. There is no date of when this game is going to be released on Japan as well as global servers, so just going to keep that in mind. Korea is the only game in town at the moment, and that's why I decided to make this video. Not only to talk about the game and give you an introduction to it, but also show you that if you're interested in the game, and of course you speak and read English and not Korean, how to play it and how to get started real quickly, okay? This is not an in-depth guide, it's just a quick start to get you rolling and where you need to be. But nonetheless, if you want some more news on this, go ahead and copy that link above. Well, you can't copy it because this is a video, right? Go ahead and type in that address to your search bar, or just go ahead and type in MMORPG News / Origin Japan and Global Service. It should show up on Google, and then you can go ahead and read through that article, okay? It has more information than what I'm talking about right now. So, speaking of where you can play this game, I am not sponsored by Bluestacks 4. I just happen to use them. But hey, if Bluestacks 4 developer, you're listening, holler at your boy, Tree at boxinacorner.net, okay? We even both start with B, right? I'm not, I am not stuck up in which I won't accept the sponsorship. But nonetheless, I'm currently using Bluestacks 4. I'm using the very latest version of it, and it runs the game very smoothly, as well as other games I have run on this platform. And I also want to mention that Bluestacks 4 recently released the landscape mode, otherwise known as a tablet mode, which really helps accelerate game performance that automatically run in landscape. Okay, so in any case, in the little guide that I'll be showing you in just a moment of how to patch this game with the English patch, because yes, there is an English patch for both the censored and uncensored version of Last Origin, I am going to be doing it through Bluestacks 4 and the latest version of it right now, okay? Things might change in the future if you are watching this. If Bluestacks 5, for example, comes out and for some reason you dug up this video through the YouTube graveyard, it might change, okay? But feel free to contact me. Let me know. I might go ahead and just give you a personal guide at that point in time, okay? I'm always willing to help people who are nice and ask politely. But nonetheless, Bluestacks 4, it's where it's at. So, you want to go ahead and download this game right off the bat, even before I showed you any more of it, okay? You're already interested. You're already, you know, all the chips in. You want to download this game. Where can you get it? Currently, there are two places that I recommend. First is APK Monk. There's the web address up there that you can see. Go ahead and copy that and enter it in your web browser of choice. It should bring you to the page, and you can go ahead and download the APK. If that doesn't work for you, or if you are looking at this in the future and maybe the website is down and no longer exists, I will go ahead and copy the Korean lettering right there. I believe it's called Hangul, but I could be absolutely wrong. Please forgive my ignorance. Nonetheless, I'll go ahead and copy that and put that in the YouTube description box, the same place where the timestamps are at. And then that way you can just go ahead and copy that and then put APK after it and then go ahead and put it on Google. That should go and give you a couple of results where you can download this particular version, which is once again the Korean censored version. If that doesn't want to work out for you, go ahead and look under QApp, QOOAPP. This is a very popular app for people who want to get international versions of games that are not available in their local Play Store. Okay, so it's under QApp. Once again, you can go ahead and type in Last Origin QApp. It might show up that way, or you can just go ahead and copy the lettering that I put in the YouTube description box, or more easily, why don't you just go ahead and type in that web address? It should bring you to Last Origin and its current release version, okay? And finally, and most importantly, the English Discord. Even though I am bringing up the Reddit page for it, which you should check out anyway, although it's kind of dead, Last Origin does have an English Discord filled with people who speak English and a little bit of Korean, so they can help you out with translation, etc., stuff like that. There's the web address in front of you. If this does not work out, just Google Last Origin Discord. Just keep in mind that there are two of them. You want the one that starts with a J, because that is the one that I'm a part of as well, even though I'm hidden there, because I always lurk on Discord. And nonetheless, it's there, and join it. It will let you access the uncensored version of the game, the juicy uncensored version everybody wants. That's hard to get. And it will also let you access the English patch for the game. The reason I'm not going to link them directly is out of respect of the people who put in hard work on the English Discord. I don't want to go ahead and steal any of their work. I also don't want to go and hot link any of their files, because these files are already hard enough to get and produce. I want it to go through the official channels. And the official channels are joining the English Discord and then go ahead and searching for it yourself, okay? But it's there. Otherwise, you're going to be playing the censored Korean version if you straight out just download it from QApp or APK Monk. All right, great. Got it? Good. All right. Let's go ahead and close that bad boy out. Let's go ahead and go back to the game itself. So this next part is I'm going to show you how to patch the game in English. And like I said, I want to get all of the house cleaning stuff out of the way, because that's why you're watching this video. This isn't a beginner's guide. This is a quick start guide on how to play the game in English. Okay. So with the current English patch, and you're using Bluestacks 4, this is how you're going to patch the game. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the game first. Yes, I do want to exit. So this is the Bluestack home page. Okay, it's going to list all the apps you currently have installed. What we are going to do is going to go ahead and go to the very bottom right here and click on More Apps, which is that little arrow. In future versions, this might change, okay? But currently in Bluestacks 4, this is how it looks like. Click on Android settings. It's going to go and bring you up to this window. We're going to go and click on Storage. We're going to go and scroll all the way to the bottom, and then we're going to go and click on Explore, all right? And it's going to bring up this window. We're going to go and click on the device that yours is named after. Mine is named after OnePlus A3010. Yours might be a different name. Whatever it's named after, go ahead and click on it, okay? You can do so by clicking these three little bars in the upper left-hand corner, okay? And it's going to give you this window right here. Now, in this window, we want to go ahead and click on Windows, okay? Because this is the actual Windows folder that you're going to be using. Now, obviously, if you're using Windows 10 or Windows 7, this will work. If you're using any other version of Windows, or if you're using Linux, or if you're using Apple, I can't help you. This guide is for Windows users using Bluestacks 4, okay? Sorry, that's just the way it is. You're going to have to get help somewhere else. Good luck. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. You're going to go ahead and click on Windows. You're going to go and click on Documents. And this is where it's going to mirror the Documents folder on your Windows PC. Okay, so go on the My Documents folder on your Windows PC. Let me go ahead and see if I can access this. Hold on for a second. All right, there we go. I'm going to go and drag it over here. I'm going to go and minimize this stuff. And you'll notice that what you see in the window right there is the same as what you see on the bottom right-hand corner that I'm showcasing right now. Actually, you guys won't be able to see it, but it's in my Windows folder, okay? It's in my Documents folder. I wish I could show this to you right now, but for some reason it's not showing because I think I didn't add a window capture, okay? But nonetheless, what's going to happen is that it's going to be in your My Documents folder, and your documents should look exactly the same as the documents that you see in front of us in the Bluestacks 4 emulator, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go into the English Discord. You're going to download the English patch, and then you're going to extract that file into your documents When you do that, you're going to get a weird file name that looks like this. Mine happens to be A43F550 and then with a bunch of other stuff after it. That is because the current version of the game 1.4.5, its English patch is located, or its English file or the locale file is located in this folder. In the future, it will change depending on what version of the game is out. Okay, so in other words, like 146, 147, 1.5, who knows? That's always going to be different. The English patch is always going to be different. But that folder is always going to be like a long, weird name. All right. So when you extract it into My Documents, you should see it in the Bluestacks emulator. So if I go and click on that, you're going to go and see this little data file. Okay. And this data file is what you're going to be needing to go ahead and replace in the actual game folder located on your Android device. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this in Bluestacks 4. I'm just showing you how to do it on Bluestacks 4. But if you're a little bit more computer savvy, a little bit more technological savvy, all you need to do is locate this same folder in your Android operating system, wherever it happens to be, and replace this one file in that folder. It will then go ahead and make the game partially in English. Okay. In any case, we're going to go ahead and click on this file, okay, and hold it until a little check mark appears. We're going to click on these 3 dots on the right upper right-hand corner, and we're going to go and click on Move To. The reason why I like using Move To instead of Copy To is if I click on Move To and I move it to the folder that I want to, when I recheck the folder under Windows, that file should be gone, and that means that I did it correctly. If that file is still there, something went wrong, it didn't move. Okay, so that's the reason why I use Move To instead of Copy To. But feel free to use Copy To if you want to. We're going to go and navigate to your device, whatever name it happens to be. Okay, mine is the OnePlus A3010. We're going to go ahead and now click on Android. We're going to click on Data, com.smartjoe ... Okay, that's once again com.smartjoe ... We're going to go then click on Files, Unity Cache, Shared, and then we're going to wait for it to load up because there's a lot of files in this folder. Now, this folder, we're going to go ahead and look for the folder that has the same name that we downloaded. Remember earlier what I said? The folder that I downloaded had the name A43F550. Okay, and a bunch of other stuff afterwards. And there it is, A43F550. Okay, I'm going to go and click on that. It's going to open up, and you'll notice there's a data folder and an info folder. I should say _data_info. Now, on the bottom right-hand corner, as long as you didn't click anything you were supposed to or not supposed to, you're going to see the little Move button. Okay, click on Move, and then it's going to close it out, and it's going to tell you that it has moved one file. Now, we're going to go and click back. On the 3 bars in the upper left-hand corner, click on your device's name, and we're going to go back to the same exact folder that we were just in. Okay, we're no longer moving stuff; we're just navigating. Okay. At any time I'm going too fast for you guys, feel free to pause the video, play it at a half speed, quarter speed, or simply just watch it again. Okay. So we're going to go and navigate back to that folder, and this is once again the A43F550, and here we are. Now everything has lined up correctly. You should see a _data folder, and you shall see an _data _1 file, as well as the _info file. Now the _data file is the original file. The _data _1 is the file that you moved to, or moved it from its original destination over to. Okay, so that's how you know you did it right. It made a copy. We're going to go and click on the original file, hold it down, and then we are going to go ahead and delete the file. Okay, so it says delete _data. Yes, we are. Then we're going to go and click and hold the file that we just transferred over. We're going to go ahead and click these 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to go ahead and rename them. Okay, and what we're going to rename them to, it's pretty obvious. We're going to go and rename it to the file we just downloaded. And once you've done that, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you have just English patched Last Origin, right? From purely Korean into basically semi-Korean. Okay, good enough to get by. We're going to go and close this out. We're going to go and launch the game, and now you can go ahead and test it. All right. Now, keep in mind, when you patch this file, should, for whatever reason, based on your Android operating system or your emulator, if for whatever reason the game decides that, hey, we notice something is fishy, all the game is going to do is re-download the file. And it's going to patch the file that you just moved over, and basically it's as if you did nothing. There shouldn't be any reason any other outcome is going to happen. However, if you're nervous about patching game files and you think like, oh man, I'm scared, I don't want to get banned or something like that, there's nothing that I can tell you that's going to assuage your fears. All I can tell you is that a lot of people do this. It's absolutely fine. You're literally just patching graphic images to show English text where applicable versus Korean text. But that's all you're doing. You're not modifying anything else, okay? But I just want to throw that little disclaimer out there. The person who makes the English patch also throws that disclaimer. You know, please don't hold us responsible because we're just doing a service. If you want to use it, great. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. The game will work absolutely fine without it. Okay? So let's go and relog back into Last Origin. The English patch is going to be in effect. I'm going to collect my dailies here. And there we go. English patch has been applied. Well, how do I know that? Well, because if I click on these little icons here, everything is in English. So I can actually read stuff. Okay. All right. So that is that. That's how you patch it in Bluestacks 4. Please do not ask me how to patch the game on other Android operating systems. I actually do know how to do that, but I can't direct you with a video guide because that's impossible. Obviously, I would have to make a video for every single Android operating system. And also, frankly speaking, guys, you can figure it out. Okay? I can give you some pointers, but what I showed you is a rough way of doing it. It should be very similar across Android operating systems as well as Android emulators, okay? Some of them make it even easier than how I showed you in Bluestacks 4, but for me, it's pretty straightforward, okay? And you should be able to do this if you're a little bit tech savvy, all right? So that's how you apply the English patch. Okay. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about Last Origin, and let's go ahead and talk about the characters that you can recruit in this game as well as the gameplay of Last Origin. So Last Origin is best described as a tactical RPG game. That's giving it a lot of credit. It's really quite simple, but there is tactics to it. And the characters in the game are basically all female robots, okay? You actually can play a robot-only squad, which I'll go ahead and click right here. It's called the AGS robots. These are actually all pure robots. They have no gender because they're machines, right? But for the most part, you're going to be using the bioroids, which are basically biological robots, hence where they're called bioroids, okay? It's just kind of think of androids, right? Kind of like cybernetic organisms with biological parts to them, okay? And obviously the biological parts are very pronounced. But at the end of the day, these are still quote-unquote machines, all right? Now, the differences between the censored and uncensored versions is pretty dramatic. This is one of the main characters in the game. This is her default outfit, and what's really nice about this game is that in your scrapbook, which is the basically book of all the units that you've collected so far in the game, you can go ahead and see their stats. You can see a little bit of flavor text. You can also see their sprite avatar that is actually in combat. The right-hand side is basically just the portrait. In other words, every time you deal with a unit, you'll see the portrait image. But on the left-hand side is what you'll be seeing when they're actually on the field, when in combat, okay? And if the unit happens to have a different skin, you can go and switch between the skins. And what's really nice about this game, a nice little touch, is that all skins change the sprite and avatar on the left-hand side as well, okay? So this battle outfit for Constantia, you notice that I changed it to a more like a skin-tight catsuit, and the catsuit is applied on this in-game sprite as well. Now, keep in mind that this game is fairly new, and it's trying to build up its reputation and subscriber base. So not all units are animated. So Alice, for example, right here, her default portrait is actually just a static image. It's not animated. It's not live 2D animated. Keep that in mind, however, that all sprites, all combat sprites, are animated, okay? So you'll always have an animated combat sprite. They're very adorable. They're very cute. You should check them out. And they have sound effects, and you can hear it right now. She's firing like crazy and stuff like that. They're always animated, okay? So at the very least, you always get to see an animated sprite unit in combat. But for the units themselves, not all of them have live 2D, okay? At least not yet, anyway. Now, because different units have different skins, you can always just switch in between them depending on what skin you have. So you can see Scissors Lise right here. Her default outfit is a static 2D kind of Toho looking like image, but you move over, she has kind of a sexy nurse thing going on, and it is animated. And once again, her sprite is updated, okay? So just go and keep this in the back of your mind. Not all units will have it, and the censored and uncensored versions of the game will differ dramatically on how the units look, even their default skins. For example, Fireside Fortia, right? This is her default skin. This is the skin you get right out of the gate, okay? This is not a special skin. I didn't have to purchase it, and she's a B rank unit, so you're going to get to see some rear stuff from her, okay? But other units like Black Liv, like you're going to see like this stuff, like that's acceptable. You're going to see this in the censored version of the game. There's nothing really too risque about it, okay? And this unit, okay, one of my favorite units, Peralt, you're going to see this in the game, okay? You'll see this in both versions because, like, once again, no big deal. Okay, nothing too overly risque, etc. Stuff like that. But units like Leprechaun, okay, you play the censored version, you're probably only going to get this skin. Uncensored version, you're probably going to have access to that skin. Okay. Let's show you a couple more units because that's what everyone is here for. Okay. Impet, I'm not going to show her alternate skin. Brownie, I'm not going to show her alternate skin. I'm off the top of my head here. I'm trying to make sure I don't show anything I don't show. So this is Gnome's default skin. All right. Since I'm playing the uncensored version of the game, I'm going to give you one freebie, one uncensored freebie. Okay. So I'm giving you a warning, heads up. This is going to be not safe for work. Don't yell at me. Don't send me angry comments. I'm going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not safe for work stuff incoming. Okay, so this skin, as you can see right here, is in the uncensored version of the game. This is obviously never going to be in the censored version of the game. So if you like skins like this across the board for a lot of units have skins that look like this or even more, go ahead and download the uncensored version. But like I said, looking on the left-hand side, you see that? See that attention to detail? Her sprite fully looks like her profile skin. It's not just one skin. So whenever you get a skin in this game, you will also get it on the sprite character as well. It's these really nice attention to details that I like about Last Origin. Okay, so I'll just briefly go over the some other units here, show you what they look like. Okay, this Alvis is pretty cool. She just looks awesome. Werewolf looks really cool. I can tell you right now, her uncensored version is yikes. Yikes meaning in a good way, but yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to show it here without instantaneously getting banned off of YouTube. But here are a couple of other units just kind of to whet your appetite about what this game is all about. But I want to say that the designs in this game are really, really cool, even those that are not fully fan servicey, like this A-6 EO unit right here, which is a heavy unit. She just looks badass. Look at those guns on the left. I look on the left. I mean those guns, okay? not your in the gutter speak, okay? She's just a cool looking unit. She has a cool attack. There are other units that look like her. It's just really a nice design and aesthetic to this game, okay? I just really like that overall about it. But if you like fan service, there's plenty of fan service to go around, okay? And they are in this game, all right? Okay, so those are a preview of the units. If you are really interested in the game now because you like what you saw, let's go ahead and continue on. Now, I wanted to mention that I didn't want this video to go overly long. It's already pretty long as is. So what I'm going to do at this point is show you combat, and I'm going to talk about what you should be aiming for as an absolute brand spanking new player, okay? So combat in this game is tactical, and it's based on the positioning of your units and the way that your squad works with one another, okay? So let me go into 1.4 here. Because hopefully that's a little bit more detailed. And I am going to go ahead and add some units here to this squad because I want to go ahead and, why not, show you what I'm talking about here. And maybe we can add one more unit. Who am I going to add here? You know what, let's add Elvis for the heck of it. Okay, she can go in front. All right, cool. Okay, so this is going to be my example squad, and we're going to show you how combat looks like, okay, folks? So let's go ahead and start battle. Now, before we get started here, you notice on the bottom right-hand side, this says something that says resource costs. And this is going to say minus 62 parts, 80 nutrients, 46 power. What am I talking about? Let's go and look at the left-hand side. Those are my parts. Those are my nutrients. Those are my power. In this game, these three resources dictate everything, okay? There is only one premium resource in this game called Tuna, or Tuna cans. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But in this game, these three resources dictate everything that you can possibly do. From upgrading your unit, to enhancing gear, to summoning units. Everything revolves around these resources, okay? So you do not need premium resources to summon in this game. However, you do need these resources to summon in the game. You can get into a position where if you grind, you end up with net positive resources rather than net negative resources when you go out and sortie a mission. So go ahead and keep that in mind, that if you figure out a way to get net positive resources, you technically, as long as you grind, have an unlimited amount of resources, which leads to an unlimited amount of summons. Getting summons in this game should not be an issue once you figure that out, as well as everything else, okay? So what we want to do is achieve that as a new player and get to that position. All right, that's what you want to do. Let's go and show you combat. I'll talk about more on this after combat ends, okay? Because I just want to show you what combat looks like. I hope I didn't click auto battle. If I did, I think I can turn it off at the start here. So our units are going to run on screen right here. And yes, I'm going to go and click auto combat off. Okay. So let's go and talk about combat. On the left-hand side is our squad. Remember, I could have orientated them in any way I wanted to. I just left them on this kind of weird 7-shape orientation. And on the right-hand side is the enemy squad, and they're going to be in formation as well. On the bottom, you have a turn bar. This should look familiar for those of you who play RPG games. This will show you what turn your units are going to go in. So right now, this means that Alice, it always goes right to left. Alice is going to go first, and then my secondary unit Perrault, and then the enemies will go, and then finally Alvis will go. Okay, so she's actually going to go after these 3 units go as it stands, meaning that if nothing changes, then she's going to go after these 3 units go. On the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to go ahead and see the abilities of the unit that's currently up. So right now, this yellow highlighter is showing that Alice is up, and she can go ahead and do these abilities, right? So if I click on her default attack, it uses 7 attack points, or AP, and it's only going to target 1 unit, because you notice right there it says targets 1 unit. However, if I click on her secondary ability, this targets a cross formation, so it can target up to 5 units, but it costs 9 AP. So if I go ahead and click on her, and let's say I click on this empty spot right here, it's going to show me who is in range of that attack. And since it's a cross formation, I can go ahead and get these 3 units right here. So if I click OK, it's going to move on to my next unit, and it's going to tweak up her command. So since I know that I'm going to go and target those 3 units in the back, A, B, and C, and this unit right here, which is yet to have a lettering, I'm going to go ahead and click on this attack and target him. And then finally, it's going to ask me, what does Alvis want to do? Since she's all the way in the back and she's going to go after all of this, I'm just going to tell her to target the front unit, and we're just going to go ahead and let the battle play out. So Alice is going to go up. She's going to release her attack. Pearl's going to go up. She's going to release her attack. And we are victorious because we are horrendously overpowered for this battle. Okay? It's going to give us our result screen. We're going to click OK. It's going to give us a reward depending on where we're playing. So we got a B unit. Thank you very much. And then we're going to go on to the next turn. And now the same thing repeats itself. Order of operations on the bottom. Alice goes first. I'm going to go click on the center so I can get attack 2 units. I'm going to have Perrault attack this unit. And I'm going to have Alvis attack the front unit because it doesn't really matter. They're all going to be dead after Alice and Perrault goes. Okay? So that they are dead. Perrault's going to go. We are victorious. You are victorious. Okay? And then that's it. And then it's going to give you what units at the end of your complete screen, or your sortie, I should say, if you received any units and what resources you got from sorting that unit. Okay? And we're going to go and close out. And that is it, guys. That's combat for Last Origin. Okay, that's how it looks like. That's how it plays. It is a tactical-based game. Let's go and show you back onto the order screen right here. And there are layers to this, okay? So if I go and click on Alvis right now, you see her passive in the bottom right-hand corner, okay? This is a defense passive, and that means that as long as she's in that position, she will guard herself as well as the 3 units behind her by giving them additional buffs and defense bonuses, okay? So as of right now, since I have her at the bottom right-hand corner, I'm missing a square. Okay, does that make sense to you? Right? She's supposed to cover up to 4 units, but because I have her on the bottom right-hand corner, she's only going to cover herself and the 2 units behind her. Now, what happens if I move her up and replace Perrault? Okay, now you notice that the blue area has expanded. And if I move Perrault back, now Alvis is giving that passive bonus to the units behind her because she's a tanky unit, she's a defender. Okay, so positioning of your units does matter. Okay, both defenders and supporters as well as attackers. And you're going to have to play around with it. There are different combinations that you can use to your benefit, okay? And it's going to make your team more efficient, more effective, better fighting, etc., stuff like that. So that's where the tactical element comes in, as well as you taking certain actions that do what they need to do, okay? All right, so let's go and remove Alvis. Bye, Alvis. Sayonara, Alice. We're going to go move Perrault back. I'm going to go and click OK and change this back to a 1 unit. So why is this important? Now, remember earlier, before we gave you the battle demonstration, I wanted to talk about efficiency of sorting your units out so you can get a net positive. So let's say, for example, I only have a 1-party squad, okay? If I go to a harder stage, let's say 2-8, okay? 2-8 is a harder stage. My unit can easily clear the stage, okay? I'm just letting you know that, okay? This is way overkill. But can you see all of the units that are available in the stage as well as all of the resources that are available in the stage? Now, if I am lucky, I'm actually going to get some of these units to drop, and I'm going to get some of these materials to drop. Those materials and those units are going to be worth more than the units that I'm spending to send the sortie out. So in other words, 34 parts, 34 nutrients, and 7 power, and I possibly might get 1, 2, or 3 of these units, as well as possibly getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even the whole kit and caboodle that you see on screen right now. It's completely random, RNG. But if you're able to do this and you're able to grind, there's a grinding feature. It's called auto battle. You can click on it before you enter battle. You can actually turn it on during battle. Auto battle will make your unit use its first default attack always, and then repeat battle up there will allow the game to keep fighting for you until one of 3 things happens. A, your squad is defeated somehow because maybe you thought you were stronger than you were and they got defeated in auto battle, in which the game will automatically stop. B, you run out of space. In other words, like you're full up of units or you're full up material, so the game can no longer hold it, so it's going to stop it there. And then finally, C, which is most obvious, you don't have enough resources to send out the unit or squad in sorties, and then it's going to stop because you don't have enough resources to send out. Okay, so this is basically grinding, and this is what you're aiming for as a new player. Whenever you send a squad out, you want them to return with more resources than they left with, okay? Because there is a recycling mechanic in this game where you can recycle units to get resources. You can also recycle gear to get resources. Let me go and show you what that looks like right now. So if I click on this little workshop option right here, I'm going to go into the bottom right hand corner and click on recycling. Let's go and recycle a unit. So remember the units that we just got in that recent battle? One of them was Miss Safety. I think one of them was a Brownie. Right? So we click on these 2 units just as an example. If I click on confirm, you notice that on my left-hand side, if I recycle these 2 units, I'm going to get 10 parts, 10 nutrients, 10 power. I'm also going to get 10 of these chips, which I need for other stuff. Okay. Now, is that going to give me the resources that I got back from sending my unit out? No, not in my case, because remember it was 34, 34, 7, right? However, it does lessen the blow. And remember that I got some other crafting equipment for it. Okay. Now, you're eventually going to get to a spot where, like I said, you're going to send out your unit or squad, and it's going to come back with more resources than you actually send it in with. For example, if I would have got an A rank unit, like let's say Miho, and I'm going to click yes, right? You see how the resources jump up dramatically if I added that A unit, if she would have dropped, and also I get special materials from sending that A unit out, okay? This is also true of gear, okay? If we got 2 pieces of gear from that, we'll get some resources back, okay? So that's your whole goal when starting out with Last Origin, okay? Once you've gotten through, looking through all of the units, which units you want, looking through the English Discord, patching the game, checking through all the guides, what you want to do is you want to assemble a squad with as minimal usage as possible, and then send that squad out to go ahead and grind for you, because you're going to be doing a ton of grinding in this game to get resources to further strengthen your units, and then the grind repeats, etc., etc. You know how mobile games work. It's a constant grind, okay? But that is all for the new players out there. That is your goal. Okay, so let's go and close out this video with the last part, and that is premium currency. Let's go and click on the store right here, click on Tuna cans, and talk about this premium currency. Now, Tuna cans are the only premium currency in Lost Origin, okay? You get it from events. You get it from developer emails, like maintenance outages, etc., stuff like that. They'll give you Tuna cans. You also getting it from 4-star completions in the world map and other sources, okay? Awards, achievements, etc., stuff like that. If you want to buy Tuna cans, okay, you can. If you're playing the censored version of the game. If you're playing the censored version of the game, they will accept any payment that's approved for international payments, okay? In April of 2019 of this year, Google Play changed the system where if you have Google Play credit that is bought using a different currency, you cannot use that to purchase in-store stuff from apps in other regions. For example, if I go out and buy a $25 US Google Play gift card right now, and I add it to my account, I cannot use those $25 to buy any of the stuff I see in front of me that's in Korean won. I believe it's won, right? But KRW, I won't be able to use it because it's not USD, okay? However, if you use a payment method that is internationally accepted, like a Visa credit card, you add that to your Google Play account, it will go ahead and make the conversion for you. In other words, the rate that's converted from one currency to another. And then you can go ahead and purchase the in-game currency using that method, okay? Now, remember I said that the censored and uncensored versions are exactly the same, and your account is linked to both of them. Well, that means that if you play the censored version, remember your account is still linked, as long as you're using the same account, you can go ahead and make a purchase there using your international payment method. And then once you log off the uncensored version and log back onto the censored version, guess what just followed with you? That's right, your purchases follow with you, okay? So the game keeps track of purchases made on your account, and that's all it cares about. It doesn't matter what version of the game you're playing, because it's still linked to the same universal account. It's a universal server, universal login server, I should say, anyway. All right, so that's how you purchase tuna cans of premium currency if you want them. You don't have to. I'm just showing you the method to do so if you want to do that, okay? Because if you try to buy currency using the uncensored version, you have to access the Korean One store. And unless you're located in Korea and you have somehow someone living there with a Korean phone number, you're not going to be able to access that app store, okay? It's impossible. Also, I believe they only accept currencies in that region area. So this is the only way to do it if you live outside of Korea, okay? And that is that for premium currency. Phew. All right, guys, I am pretty tired. I hope you enjoyed this video and my quick start guide for Last Origin. I don't know if I'm going to make any additional content for this game. It just depends on how popular it gets, but I think it's worth looking into and checking out, especially if you're bored or maybe you're playing a bunch of games right now and you just need an extra game that you want to pick up. I do recommend Last Origin. Combat is fun. The tactics add a layer of complexity to it, which is refreshing. The artwork in the game is absolutely amazing, as you can see. And if you're really into fan servicey games like Destiny Child, you're really going to find a lot to like in this game as well. Okay. That being said, you do have to jump through a couple of hoops to get it running. Like I said, any Android emulator should work. Any Android device should work. This game runs pretty smoothly. Just go and keep in mind that you will be downloading the censored version first. And the uncensored version as well as the English patch are only available on the English Discord. Instructions are in there. Once you have access to the uncensored version and the English patch, feel free to rewatch this video, and specifically that section where I showed you how to patch it in Bluestacks 4. Okay? And yeah, that is it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, visit my website, boxinacorner.net, for updates on what I'm up to and what I'm playing and what my thoughts are on random stuff. I do other things than just play games on Android, etc., stuff like that. So a little plug for me. And if there's anyone out there that has any game that they want to recommend to me that is a hidden gem meaning that a game is not popular, okay? Last Origin is not a game that, like I said, is popular. Hardly anyone knows about it other than a select few. Let me know and I'll go and check it out, okay? And if it meets my standard, I'll make a video on it and I'll help other people to spread the word. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. And go ahead and stay tuned to this channel. I will update you with stuff I find out in the wild. Stuff like Last Origin. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.